Just after 7 a.m. The sun's up, almost above the trees. Yeah, a few clouds, but not many. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing today. I don't think I'm going to do any actual work. I'm still waiting for the dry belt for that mower deck. Supposed to show up tomorrow, but mail comes in the afternoon here, so I'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I'll wait and see. What I can get done then, that's tomorrow. Today, I'm thinking about going to the hayfield. That's what I was thinking about. I don't think it's going to be anything there to actually look at except weeds, because it's been so dry. I don't know exactly, but I think it's been about a couple months since we had a good rain here. I had about a week ago. I had about, I think it was a week, maybe longer. I got like 3/16 of an inch. So, but like I said, a good rain, like an inch. But I don't remember the last time I got a good rain. It's been a while. I think it was sometime in June. I'm not sure, but I think it was around there. But I can check my videos, see when we had a good rain. But doesn't really matter because we're not getting none now. And the forecast for the next 2 weeks don't show any rain either. So it's going to be a dry September, that's for sure. Very dry. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to wait a while till the sun's a little higher. So I don't want the sun in my eyes when I drive to the farm and check out the hayfield. And maybe I'll check something else out when I'm at the farm. I've been thinking about getting the sprayer again, the tank sprayer, to put on the tractor. Last time I used the trailer to put it on the trailer and then bring it over here and then hook it up. But I think this time I'm just going to drive the tractor down there and hook it up, bring it back, use it. I'm going to spray some liquid fertilizer again in the hayfield, even though there's not going to be any hay, because it's too dry to make hay. I'm not going to waste money cutting it when it won't make nothing. And after I get done spraying the liquid fertilizer, I'll wash it out and take it back, put it back where I found it, in the shed at the farm. Anyway, that's where I'm at, just thinking ahead. I also probably have to buy some gasoline sometime next week before I do that. I'm thinking I'll wait until after the cool weather comes to do that though, because it's going to be hot this week. Next weekend might be a little cooler, at least under 90. So, just wait and see. That's what I'm doing today, if anything. Driving to the hayfield and checking out the sprayer at the farm. And maybe something else too, I don't know. I can't really see nothing here with this sun shining in my eyes. Cat's following me around. I don't see the cattle anywhere. I'm guessing they're up in the barn. That's what I'm thinking. A few clouds. Oh, look what else I found. Way up there. Got a moon. I'm not sure which quarter that is. Third quarter? I don't know. Fourth quarter. Maybe we're in the fourth quarter. I'm not sure. I can never understand the quarters of the moon. I know a full moon and a new moon. That's all I can remember. It's a nice morning. It's not hot. Feels just right. I think I'll drive over the farm a little earlier today though, while the weather's still cool. Supposed to be in the low 90s today. What do you want, Matt? Cat? Oh, I didn't feed you that. Oh, I didn't feed the cat yet. She's crying for her food. Get to you, don't worry. I didn't forget. It's a nice morning. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Drive to town and get some gasoline for the tractor. I'll need some more for the lawnmower anyway. Truck's still pretty good, but I'll probably top it off. What you doing up there, cat? Looking for some food? Okay, I'll go feed you now. Well, I'm just guessing, but by the location of the moon at sunrise, the moon is closer to the west than it is to the east. So I'm guessing that's the first quarter is right after a new moon, and this is past the first quarter because there's more than half a moon showing. So I'm guessing we're starting this somewhere in the second quarter. Second quarter, because the third quarter is after a full moon. Yeah, I think. Anyway, that's my guess. Second quarter. Okay, you ready, cat? Now go. Let me go feed you, so you can get your nourishment to take care of your baby, and the baby needs to eat. The kitten needs to eat too. Fed the cat. Kitten's not hungry. Kitten wants to play a little bit. There you go, eat. Better eat, kitten, or your mama eats it all. Guess it's not too interested. Okay. You're on your own now. Well, it's just a nice morning. I'm enjoying this cooler weather in the morning. Days are getting shorter, so that's probably why it's getting cooler. But the days are still warming up. Oh, look! Let me go take a look at the morning glories out there on the garden. Morning glory weeds. But I noticed I haven't used this ATV for a while. But I know this side, this wheel and that wheel are getting low again. I'll have to pump them up next time I want to use it. The other side's no problem. The other wheels on that side never go flat. But these must have small holes in them somewhere. Because after this thing sets for too long, tires get low. Yeah, morning glories are opening up. That's why they call them morning glory, because when the sun shines on them, they bloom. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That yellow pole. There's a metal post inside of it, but there's grass growing there out the top. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Oh, that's cute. Look at that grass growing out of the top of that pole. Oh, I guess I'll leave them morning glories. They look nice. Yeah. And when cold weather comes, it's going to die anyway. Yeah, I'll just leave them. They're not hurting nothing. I don't have nothing planted in here anyway. I'll try to plant something next year maybe. I still gotta, I've been thinking about this all summer, but spring too, but I gotta move some manure out of the barn and fill these boxes up the rest of the way, and then get some grass to cover them up. I got some old grass clippings from last year when the cattle weren't here. I was mowing all this grass around the house since the cattle weren't eating it. So I'll have all that in the barn. So if I can get the manure out of the barn spread here, I'll probably use the big trailer for that instead of the wheelbarrow. I used the wheelbarrow for that little bit there. That's too much work carrying that wheelbarrow down here. So I'll use a small trailer like I did before when I filled these boxes up before. Yeah. But morning glories look good. There's a nice patch. A few blossoms there. A few out here. And the ones on top here look good too. Guess I need to trim those asparagus again. Yeah, but won't be long. They'll be getting cold. It's going to get cold here pretty soon. Not pretty soon. Maybe October. But it's going to be warm this week though, in the upper 90s in a few days. Anyway, there's sure something going on that pond. Look at that. There's something going on down there. I see things flicking on it. Little something, bugs or something. It must be some kind of bugs. It could be those water. There's kind of, I forget what it's called. Bugs that like glide across it, like they're skating on top of the water. Yeah. It's almost like a spider, but it's not a spider. I think it's only got 4 or 6 legs. Yeah, I forget what they're called. I used to know when I was a kid. I don't know why I do it, but there's some kind of bug on the water, top of the water. Anyway, that's what we got. Okay, oh, they still got some hay. Looks like I think they may have rolled the bale. I think they did that last time on the other bale. This bale, I don't know what they did with it. I think they just rolled it in this, rolled it down the hill just a little bit. But if I'm going to feed them again in a few days, I got to decide where I'm going to put it. If I'm going to put it there again, or I'm going to move it down over here. I'll probably move it down over here because I want them to clean that up. I don't want to put another one bale there because I'll put it there later after they clean more of it up. Yeah, I'll put a bale down at the bottom of this hill over here. Yeah, that's where I'll start. Now I'll just keep working my way down. Yeah, all the way down along this bottom of this hill. It's a shame I gotta feed hay this time of year. Yeah, I usually don't start feeding hay until October if we had rain. If we had rain, the grass would still be growing, but no rain, no grass. So I've gotta feed hay. Well, it's about 10:30 now, and it's not too hot yet. I'm gonna head over to the farm, check it out, check the hayfield out, check other things too. But since this morning I was watching my old videos in July and August to see if I could determine the last good rain we had. And the last good rain of 1.5 inches was on July 13th. So, but then on the 16th and 17th we got a couple showers, just enough to wet the bottom of the bucket, but it was, at least there was some rain. Everything was still green, put it that way. The pastures were still growing. But after that it dried up a little bit until August 4th. August 4th I got a little rain, and that's about it. After that there was hardly anything. If it rained after that, it wasn't very much. So like I said, the last good rain was 1.5 inches on July 13th. Then a couple days, on the 21st too, July 21st, it rained just a little bit, maybe 3/10. I keep saying tenths. What is 3/10 anyway? An inch is divided by quarters, but I don't know what a tenth would be. I use a yardstick. I think a rain gauge is set up as in tenths. Yeah, a rain gauge is set up with tenths on the glass. But I use my yardstick, so that's what I go by. Yardstick. Anyway, that's what I got. That's like I said. Last good rain was July 13th, but then I had a few rains, 3 or 4 rains after that. But the last rain was actually August 4th. Yeah, I haven't had any good rain since August 4th. Except that little 3/16 I had about a week ago, which wasn't much, but it was something. It helped, but not enough. Anyway, I'm gonna head over to the farm now. Okay, I'm gonna do the time lapse again. Go over to the farm. Well, I didn't stop at the hayfield. I'll stop there on the way home. Right now, I want to go check something out in the woods. I checked before. I think it was back in July. I checked a spring that I know of out there. There was running water back in July. Of course, we were having rain too, but I want to check it now since we haven't had rain. Let's see, August. Over a month. Put it at over a month. Everything's dry now, so I want to go check down there. Okay, gotta open the gate. Yeah, I was out here sometime in July. I forget when. I was doing a farm tour. Looks like he fed a bale here by these woods here. Oh, yeah. I noticed when I came up. My brother had his clover in this field here. I guess he had the neighbor. It was I call it stubble clover, which is I guess the clover was planted this spring in wheat, and he baled it off, and it's all them bales there to the right underneath the trees. That's mostly straw with some clover growing in it. So that's what he's got. You could feed it for hay, but it's mostly for bedding because it's mostly straw, stubble straw. But where I'm going is over here. I think I can go through here. Yeah, I drove here before. I just don't want to hit a big rut. That's okay. I'm gonna go. Last time I was here, I drove in. Actually, I drove back here. That's right. I drove back here before. I'm gonna go dive down to this bottom area here, because that's where the spring starts. Because I traced it from down below, farther down the creek or stream. If I remember right, it was right in here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where, but I think it was somewhere there by that tree with the red vine on it, the dead tree with the red vine. So that's where I'm going to go check first. And since I'm here, I guess I'll go ahead and park in the shade. Oh, I'm at it. Oi! Oi. there, big ditch. I didn't want that. Anyway, somewhere down there is that creek, is the stream, and I think that's where the spring starts. Guess we'll find out. Or I will. Here's where the stream is. It looks like it's wet down there. Looks like the cattle are coming in and out of here, though. Looks like there's a path. I think I'll follow that one first. And this is where that's where I marked it last time I was here. This dead tree with the red vine on it. I think that's poison oak. It's been there a while. Anyway, or I could go in this way. Maybe I'll go this way first. Yeah, the creek is dry, or the stream. It's not really a creek. Yeah, I guess you could call it a creek. It's a stream, a small stream from a branch up farther up where the pasture is up there. But it hits the trees and it gets a little bigger. But as I knew it would happen, this is where the spring starts. There's going to be water from here on down. I'm not going to go down there because I was there before. But it goes all the way down to this big branch, all the way to the neighbors. But there's always water here. Ever since I can remember. No matter how dry it gets, there's always water coming out here. I found what I wanted. Yeah, dry there and wet here. That's where the water starts, down there. Comes along here. It's not flowing very much, but it's wet. And it's still wet down that way, too. Looks like the cattle have a path going through here. But I'm coming over here to see, go a little farther down, see how much water is actually down here. Yeah, it's still wet. Yeah. Oh, there's water coming down. Keeps on going. There's a cattle path, keeps going farther downstream. And there's a stream going downstream with water in it. That's upstream. And this is coming down here. Still wet, even though everything else is dry. And it keeps on going down that way. I'm not going to go too far. Actually, yeah, it keeps going. I can see water way down there. Yeah, it stays wet all the way down. So there's a steady amount of water coming out of that spring. I mean, it's not flowing out, but it's keeps everything wet, keeps water in the stream. Cattle can drink it through here. And my brother's cattle can come through here. Actually, they're right there. There's one right there. There's a red one. I'll go check it out. I left that gate open. So I got to go back before they get out. But they're over here in the shade. Anyway, I was going to say something. Oh, I remembered as a kid, there was water here, but I don't remember this ditch being that big. Even as a kid, you'd think the ditch would seem bigger, but it seemed like it got bigger over the years. Yeah. I remember that down there in that lower spot, it was always like a flat, but it was muddy, but it was just flat. Because we had cattle back in there even back then when I was a kid. Although when I was all the way through high school and before, we only had one dairy cow. Later on, after I came back from the Navy, I started to raise more cattle. But yeah, I remember sometimes during the summer, we had the cow was out here and she wouldn't come up, so we had to walk out. I had to walk out here to find her and just milk her out here. She was trained to stand when we started milking her. She didn't run off. So that was a good cow. But she wanted something to eat, but then she'd come up to the barn, which I preferred to milk her in the barn. I didn't want to carry a bucket of milk all the way back to the house. Anyway, that's what I came out here for, to see if this spring still had water in it coming out of it during this dry weather. And it does. Little path going down to the stream. And here's the path going up to where they are. Cattle heard me. Those are my brother's cattle, Angus. But I remember this little area here. When we were kids, Dad would plant these pine trees. He used them for Christmas trees. But they weren't very good pine trees. They weren't the kind of pine, the kind with the long, skinny needles. See up there? They weren't the best kind of trees for Christmas trees, but that's why they're still growing here. That's a big one over there. And that's another pine. That's a pine. Here's a pine. There's a pine. There's a pine. There's a pine. I think that's about it for the pines. Yeah. Yeah, these things got big. There's some more on the other side of the road, way over there, on the other side of where my niece built her house. There was another spot there that my father built, planted some pine trees. There's some cattle way out there. Some were mooing, probably looking for the rest of her calf, or waiting for the other herd to follow her. I think it was a red one that left. There was a red one up here, a red Angus. Hi, girls. You got a bull there with you? My brother rents a bull. Oh, that's a cow. Oh, she's fat. Oh, they've seen me before. I guess they don't normally see anybody coming out of the woods, though. Some of them look skinny. Some of them look fat. Anyway, this is my brother's herd. No, I don't want to speak ill of anyone, but as far as I know, my brother doesn't rent anything on the farm. He just uses it. Yeah, and that's where I got to walk back to. That's where I got the truck parked down around the corner, over that hill there. Anyway, yeah, he has 40 some acres on the southeast corner back there that he bought a long time ago. I sort of set it up for him because I contacted the owner who didn't live here. He lived up north somewhere. I contacted the owner. I got it off the tax records of their address, and I asked him if he'd sell it to me, and I offered him a price, and I didn't hear back from him. Or no, did he contact me, or I forget. I think he said he wasn't ready to sell. I think that's what I'm thinking. Or he just didn't respond. I can't remember. But anyway, not long after that, I had the opportunity to buy the area where my house is. It was a lot more expensive than I was willing to pay, but I was already married and I needed a place to build a house. I didn't want to build it on the farm. Everybody else in my family did, though, just about. My sister, my brother, older brother, and my brother, and my younger sister. So four of my siblings. Three. Three of my siblings built the house on the farm, but I didn't want to do that, so I bought my own place. My father didn't like it. He didn't like it when I moved. But after I was still raising cattle with my father and helping him with the farm. But after my father got put in a nursing home, my older brother and my little brother here, who raises these cattle, they didn't like it that I was raising cattle there. So they started to, or my father's, oh, that's before my father got in the nursing home. I guess one of my brothers, I guess my oldest one, somehow talked my father into renting the farm without telling me. Yeah, didn't tell me that. At least the farm land, anyway. Now they're going back, they're leaving now. So, but then when my father got put in the nursing home, but I was still raising cattle, even though they were renting the rest of the. That's when I started. That's when I started renting the 20 acres where I got my hayfield. That's when I started renting that. There they go. They're going down all the way to that way, and they're going to go out to my brother's property, or he's got lots of grass out there in the bottomland. Anyway, as I was saying, there they go. That's when I started renting it, but I still had the cattle here. That's before. That's when my brother started to raise some cattle. My little brother. My older brother, he didn't want nothing to do with the farm, except rent it out. And they also, when my father got put in the nursing home, my two brothers, oldest and the youngest, they started selling off all the old equipment. Yeah, for scrap, I guess. I don't know what they were doing with it. But the ones I was using, I still have. Gravity flow, sickle, that old disc that's still out there in the hayfield. Anyway, long story short, my older brother said I should get rid of my cattle. So that's when I bought that 20 acres, because I already had the 20 acres. I just didn't have it fenced for cattle yet. So that's what then I brought all my cattle to the 5 acres where my house is, and then I started fixing up the other 20 acres for the cattle too. That's how that happened. Yeah, that's the way life is. I got pushed out, I guess you could say. Oh, here's another big pine. Look how tall that is. They got big. See, I never did like these pines because that don't make a good Christmas tree. There's hardly any needles on it. But that's what my father planted. I don't know why he didn't plant the other kind. It had all the short needles on it, all across all the limbs. Anyway, I'm not going to go back through here. I'm going to walk back up here where I was. I'm going to walk back with the truck the other way. Let me go. Now, here was a lot of them pines were growing here. Not that other one, not that one back there. That's an oak, I think. There's a pine back that way, a pine here, there. I guess that's about it. I mean, one way back there. Anyway, you'd think with all these pine cones laying around on the ground, there'd be some more pines growing here, unless the cattle eat them. But I've never seen no baby pines growing here for some reason. So I don't know. But that's the kind of pine cones they have. Anyway, that's where I came out. And I got to walk back that way back to my truck. Dad planted pines back in here for Christmas trees because he didn't want to buy any from the store. But I prefer cedars because they're native to here. They've always grown here, and there is a baby one trying to grow. Cattle eat them off a little bit, but not too much. Let's go back to my truck and go. Oh, go back to the farm. Or I'm on the farm. What am I talking about? Yeah, there's the farmhouse right there. Yeah, back there. That's the farmhouse. Over that hill. Okay, I'm going that way. That's where I drove in at, over that way. And I came around and drove down there to the right. I walked out over that way. Came back here. There's a nice big tree. A couple big trees in here. Anyway, that's where the spring starts. Right in front of the truck. Yeah. Right that way. Right about there. Straight down from that opening there. Just beyond that tree with the red stuff on it. Okay. I seen what I wanted to see out here. Now I gotta drive back. I guess I'll just go check the hayfield and that's it. I was going to check the sprayer, but I'll check it when I'm ready to put it on the tractor. Well, that's where I'm headed. To the gate. I just don't want to fall in a big ditch. That's all. I think it was pretty smooth going through here. Right through here, I think. Yeah. I have to remember that. Looks like my brother fed one of those stubble straw bales here. More than likely, it probably didn't wrap right. Oh, there's another one over there. A couple more. Yeah. There's two more here. Yeah, on there and there. Maybe he thought the cattle needed them. I don't know. Anyway. I'm headed out. A little bumpy here from a rut. All the wet, there's wet ground here, I think. Okay. Close the gate. Okay, I guess I'll just drive with the video running. Yeah, on my way home, I'll make a video of the drive-by of the hayfield. Yeah, bump still hurt my back, even in the truck. I think my back just got weak. Well, it got hurt there a couple weeks ago when I fell off that trailer onto my back. But since then, I've been pretty put it this way, I haven't done very much, put it that way, physically. Yeah, I've done a few things on the tractor and the lawnmower, but other than that, I didn't do much work. Okay, here's the road going north and south, but I want the road going west. Yeah, this is my brother's house in the corner, and his widow lives there now. This is my little sister's house, and my brother's house is on the south, on that south road to the south. And then my sister's oldest daughter built a house across the road from my brother's house. So at least it stays in the family. That's the main thing. Okay, let's stop here and take a look at this dried up. Oh, I just remembered something. Okay, here I am. Yeah, here's that equipment. I sprayed these weeds, but they didn't seem to die. Oh well. Here's that equipment that I used that this year. I used the roller over here, where those right next to those that grass area, next to those white bales. I disked it and rolled it, planted some grass in it, and then rolled it. And I used that disc up at my big pasture to disc up some weeds, but it doesn't pay to bale this, cut and bale this, because there's nothing here to cut. Everything dried up. Even the buckhorn still, yeah, they went to seed, and they'll probably be thicker next year. But only I just hope the fescue or the grass that's in here will grow again next spring, and give me a hay crop. If not, I'll have to think of something else. But anyway, I got some switchgrass in here. I'm gonna have to come back sometime and see if there's any seed on it, because I want to harvest the seed. I'm not going to cut it, but I can at least try to harvest that switchgrass, maybe plant some more. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I like switchgrass. Oops, I hit the cord. I got to charge it now. Okay. And somehow that switchgrass got way out there. There's another one way out there on the right too. Looks like my neighbor cut his corn, or harvested his corn. Yeah, it just doesn't pay to cut this. For hay anyway. I could mow it with the bush hog. But I don't know what kind of weed this is. But it's going to seed. Yeah, there's a switchgrass way out there. Way out there. That light green stuff, that's tall stuff. If I can get some seed off of it before the birds get to it, I'll try to plant some more somewhere. Look at that brown stuff. That's that buckhorn. It's worthless as hay. Yeah, there's just nothing there to eat. It's got a few leaves at the bottom, very short. Even a mower probably couldn't cut them. And then the one stalk for the seed head, that's it. One little stalk. Something green down there. What is that? Oh, they're probably weeds like this here. Yeah, there's some green weeds. Yeah, the weeds grow good, even without water. Anyway, yeah, neighbor cut his corn. All right, that's about it out here. I'm gonna go back in. Too hot to do anything today. And who was driving around in here? Is that my track? I don't know. Oh well, it doesn't matter. There's nothing worth cutting here anyway. All right, that's it. I'm gonna head it home. Okay, I'm headed home. I'll do the time lapse again on home too. This is the neighbor that I think that, I don't know if the calf came from here, but it probably came. This is the neighbor that had those cattle there in a pasture west of my pasture. That they got out a few times, and I think that's where that calf came from. That black calf in my pasture came from. But he's got cattle here too. Right now, I think they're all under the shade of that shed, loping shed over there. Up there on top of that hill, with just the roof. Anyway, but if it's his calf, I'll hang on to it until after I sell my cattle. Then I'll try to contact them or something. Wait and see. Yeah, if he wants it, he can come and get it. Oh, I'm back. Now it's hot. Yeah, it heated up. Especially, I even had the air conditioner on in the truck, and I could feel the roof. It's hot. The windshield, whew, the windshield's hot too. All right, that's all for today, I think. Uh, I might check the. No, I'm not going to check the kettle again. Tomorrow's Saturday, so I'll be waiting. Tomorrow I'll be waiting for that belt to show up, probably in the afternoon, and then if that happens, then I can put that belt back on the mower and get that ready to mow again. But I probably won't mow tomorrow. I'll probably wait until Sunday or the next day, but we'll see. I think I might go shopping tomorrow. I need some food and other stuff. So maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. Before I start working on the mowing grasses and weeds. It's 86 degrees Fahrenheit at noon. So it's warming up. Supposed to be over 90 today. Still only half the day is done. 88 at 6 p.m. Still warm. Well, even though it's warm right now, these days, I think the air is drier. It's not as humid because there's no moisture in the ground, or less moisture. Yeah, it's just less humidity, I think. So it's more like a desert air. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's not as hot as it could have been. It's hot, but it's not as humid. Yeah, it's warm, but it don't feel as hot as it did when it was humid. Back in, I don't know, July or August, whenever it was really hot. I think it was August. That was hot. There's not much water in that little pond. But look how still it is. Look, I can see the reflection of the bull in the water, the white bull. Ain't that something? Just me right there, standing on the hill. Yeah, the sun's warm, but it's not too hot. First, I said it doesn't feel too hot because of the lower humidity. Kitten came down. What you doing, kitty? What you doing? Hey, kitty. I don't. You can climb a little bit now, or yet. I haven't checked what it is yet. What are you doing, Mama? Oh, it's 6:50 p.m. and the sun's getting ready to set. It's still warm, but like I said, it's not as humid, so it don't feel as hot. And this concludes another day of not doing much, but I'm content. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a few things. Not any work. I'm going to do some shopping. I haven't shopped for groceries in Walmart for 2 months. I go to the Kroger store in a smaller town near me about every 2 weeks just to buy a few food supplies. But now I need some other stuff that I need to pick up in Walmart. You know, not food supplies, other kind of supplies that I need around the house. All right. I don't like going to Walmart because I spend too much. That's the main reason. I like shopping in Walmart, but I just don't like spending the money. That's why. Anyway, I'll be doing that tomorrow morning because in the afternoon I'm hoping to receive that lawnmower belt so I can put that lawnmower back together and start cutting weeds again. Okay, that's all for today. That's all. I'll walk down to the mailbox to check the mail, and I'm in a little low spot here on the road. So got me a sunset after all. I'm standing just inside my door on the west side of the house as the sun goes down with my shadow. Well, after I went back in the house after the sun went down, it's about 7:20 right now, p.m. Sun went down just after 7. Anyway, I decided I was expecting the last time I checked the tracking on the lawnmower drive belt for the deck. It showed that the expected delivery was the 13th, which is tomorrow, by 9 p.m. So I figured it'd be delivered tomorrow. But I got curious. I checked the tracking, and on the email from the parts store, and it said it was delivered at the garage. So I looked around in my garage, I couldn't find it, but then I just happened to walk in front of my truck, and there it is. There's my part. So that's good. I got it. I can work on it tomorrow. So I'm still going to go shopping though in the morning. I'm still going to go shopping because I need some stuff for the house and things. Okay, and I also need some food. All right. I'm just guessing, but I'm afraid I might be spending over $500 again. I don't like doing that, but if I have to, I have to. All right. At least I got the part. Well, I got the belt, but I want to go down to the lawnmower to check to make sure it's long enough. If it's the right size. I'll compare it to the old one. Yeah, it's a John Deere part too.